We're going to get started with speakings. So it's an honor to introduce the Rabbanit Sara Yoheved Rigler, author of books such as Battle Plans, and most recently, I've Been Here Before. Okay.
Do people want to come and sit down here?
People want to sit.
Come sit down. You can come and sit down because I'm going to talk for 20 minutes or so you want to be comfortable. Here's chairs. There's another chair here. Liz, are you sitting?
I'm sitting.
Where are you? Where are you? Okay, this is. There's another chair here. Be comfortable.
No, where's Simcha? Simcha is a seat.
Comfortable. So, first of all, I want to thank Jared Bernstein for inviting me to speak at his book launch. I consider this a very important book, and so I feel it's a real privilege to be able to speak about it here, and you'll see in my remarks why I think it's so important. So I want to thank Nahum Pomerantz and his wonderful staff for hosting this book launch, and for just existing, for this bookstore existing. Of course, it's in the merit of his father, but that he keeps it alive and so flourishing, and so it's the candy store. I call it the candy store. I don't come very often because whenever I come, as they say in their publicity, you find not only the book you thought you wanted, but the book you didn't know you wanted. So I always go out with a pile of the books I didn't know I wanted. So okay, I want to start by talking about something that we've all heard, that in Judaism there are three relationships. There is Ben Adam La'atzmo, between a human being and himself or herself, Ben Adam Le'Chaveiro, between a human being and another human being, and Ben Adam Le'Makom, between a human being and God. Or did you hear? I saw just tonight what that President Zelensky said. He said that about Putin, no bunker can protect you from God. Wow, we finally have a Jewish, internationally recognized hero who's talking about God. No bunker can protect you. Anyway, so that's the relationship Ben Adam L'Makom, between a person and God. But recently, as a book came out not too long ago by somebody named Dr. David Rosemarin, who's a student of Rabbi Leib Kelemen, who was a student of Rav Shlomo Wolbe, the great Musar master of the end of the 20th century. And he said something that I found absolutely life-changing. He said that the three relationships are hierarchical. That you have to start with a relationship. He's written a book that is pure Rav Kelemen, and he quotes Rav Kelemen on every second page for the general reader, not just the religious reader, not even the Jewish reader, for everybody. So he doesn't use these terms, but the relationship between the person and oneself, which of course means between the soul and the body includes the emotions, the nefesh. The soul is the neshama. I mean, there's different parts of the soul. We use that word soul variously in Judaism. What he's talking about is the soul that we know as the neshama. Its relationship to the body, which includes the emotions, has to come before you really try to work on perfecting the relationship between you and other people. And that has to come before the relationship between you and God. And it's hierarchical. And I mean, we always have known this. We've known that the relationship between you and other people has to precede your relationship with God. A person can't, no matter how much Torah they learn and how many hours they spend in prayer, if they're not nice to other people, it's worthless. Rabbi Yitzhak Breidowitz, how many people here, anybody goes to Rabbi Breidowitz's class on Tuesday nights at the El Shul? You can also listen to it on YouTube. It has over 2,000 people that hear it on YouTube after Tuesday night. So Rabbi Breitowitz in this week's class was talking about Rav Moshe Feinstein, the Gadol Hador of the last part of the 20th century, or not the last part, but I think he died in 1985. And how his wife, Rav Moshe's wife, would tell the Bacharim, the yeshiva students that would come there, you can't, you will not become as great a Talmud Chacham as my husband, but you can be as much a mensch as my husband. Like, it's really worth working on that. So he told the story. Rabbi Breitowitz, when he was 9 years old, he wasn't a rabbi then. He lived in Hartford, Connecticut, and for 3 years in a row, Rav Moshe Feinstein came to Hartford in the summer, to vacation. He said it was a place where there weren't anybody who would be asking him halakhic shilas, bothering him with halakhic shilas in Hartford, Connecticut. So little Yitzhak Breitowitz was in the car, would go to shul to daven at the Young Israel there in the mornings, and he would, and one morning, it was a rainy morning, and whoever it was drove Rav Moshe, and I guess the Breitowitz father, and little Yitzhak, he was 9 years old, to shul, and he davened, and apparently he davened, I'm not surprised, longer than other people, so everybody left, and he had a key to the shul, and he stayed. And from there he was going to school. And then there was a knock on the door, and the driver came back, and he said, Rabbi Feinstein sent me back to drive you to school because it's raining. And Rav Breitowitz said, who other than the Gadol Hador would care about saving a 9-year-old boy from having to walk 3 blocks in the rain to school? So we see that the level of Bein Adam L'Chaveiro has to precede that level of real spiritual greatness, becoming a tzaddik, knowing the whole Torah. But what I didn't realize until I read this book, which is called The Connections Paradigm, you probably don't sell it here. It's not a Jewish book. It's a regular book. I didn't realize that we have to work on the relationship between ourselves, Bein Adam Le'etzmo, and ourselves, meaning ourselves, our bodies, and our emotions, before we can graduate to that next level of really working on ourselves and our relationship with other people. And I'll tell you why. Dr. Roseman recommends, in order to progress in this area of your relationship with your body, to have, and again, when I say body, it includes the emotions. So he recommends having every day a 2 or 3 minute conversation with your body. And he gives an example of what that would sound like. There's only one rule: no criticism. The soul is not allowed to criticize the body. So the soul says, how are you feeling? And the body says, tired, hungry, not sure I can work more. And the soul, instead of yeah, you should overcome and strive, which is the soul always wants to go upward. The soul is like a flame that always wants to go upward. And the body, of course, made of earth, always wants to stay like that. So, but here's the beauty of having this kind of conversation. The body says, tired, hungry, not sure I can work more. And the soul says, oh, I'm sorry. And the body says, I'm also upset because I didn't get much done today. And the soul says, we did our best and you're working hard. I should have made sure we got more sleep. We'll have sushi for dinner because I know it's your favorite, and then we'll watch TV. So this is a paradigm for a conversation between the soul and the body. So I have a marriage workshop for women that I give with Jewish workshops. Anybody who's here who's married is invited to join. And so we were using for a series this book, and so we always give exercises. It's a real working group, and one of the exercises was to have a 2 or 3 minute conversation with your body every day. And of course, I do the exercises that I give out to the women, and so I was doing it too, and I was really amazed I thought, look, I take care of my body. I eat healthily. I only eat whole wheat, and and I exercise. I go to Pilates once a week, and I take care of the body. But when I actually had a conversation with the body, I was shocked to hear what my body had to say, because usually I don't listen. It's like, because I have all the wisdom, so I tell my body what to do. And so one day I did this. My book is on Gilgulim from the Holocaust. I've been here before when Souls of the Holocaust return. So I was very, very into making an event for International Holocaust Day at the end of January, and really put a lot into it. And I woke up one day and I had my conversation with my body, and I asked my body how it was feeling, and my body said I was a little depressed because things weren't going so well. My body answered, I'm feeling down about whatever it was that wasn't going well with the arrangements. So again, the body includes the emotions. So I'm a little depressed. Now, I rarely get depressed, but that morning I was feeling depressed. And usually my default position is that my soul takes over and starts telling the body, you shouldn't feel depressed. I wrote a book, as Israel mentioned, battle plans, how to fight the Yetzer Hara, with 60 some battle plans on how to fight the Yetzer Hara. So I usually immediately come in, well, this is what you should do. I know the answer. I know what you should do if you're feeling depressed. But because I was doing this exercise, I started to listen to the body. So I said, oh, that's too bad. You really don't feel good about how things are moving forward, I said to my body. Because the idea is to have a loving, compassionate relationship with the body. So that gave the body a chance to feel validated rather than dismissed. And then I asked the body if it wanted to get out of that state. Do you want to get out of this feeling down? Which is a question I would have never asked. Of course you want to get out. Of course, rally to the challenge, overcome and up we go. But really listening to the body, I realized that my relationship with my body was one of feeling like my body is a time-consuming nuisance, and I'm very patronizing to my body. Like I have all the wisdom, and I tell you what you should be doing and feeling and thinking, and behaving, and the chiddush that I realize is the way we treat our body is the way we treat other people. If I'm patronizing to my body, then I'm patronizing to other people. Like I know, what you should be doing in your situation. And it was really a chiddush to me. I want to share with you some of the body-soul conversations that some of the women in my group had, because I think this is all leading to the fact that Jared's book is a book where the body, the emotions, get a chance to speak in his poetry and in his artwork, and we get to listen. So here's one conversation. The women wrote in. Soul says, today has been a tough day. You stretched even more than usual to please your family. And the body says, yes, I'm exhausted. I want to cry. And the soul said, this was a conversation that took place. Then cry, you'll feel better. So this, of course, is empathy, compassion, no guilt trips. No, you shouldn't feel that way. So the body says, okay, I'll jump in the shower and I'll listen to you, I'll express my emotion, but you know that it won't solve the problem. Tomorrow another difficult day is waiting for me. I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to drop off my son. I'm not good when I wake up so early. After my work day, I'll prepare for Shabbos, so it'll be a very long day. I might not be so pleasant on Shabbos. The body's saying this. And the soul gives gentle encouragement, rather than say, stop complaining, be grateful for what you have, which is usually the default position of the soul talking to the body. But in this case, this is somebody who's been practicing this every day. The soul says, one day at a time, go to sleep tonight and daven like Rebbetzin Machlis. that it will be enough for you. Reb Machlis, she only had 4 hours of sleep. She asked Hashem, may the 4 hours of sleep be enough? May I wake up, restored? And the body says, you're right. Hashem can do everything. Thank you for your comfort. I feel much better. Because we see that when the soul is willing to listen to the body and really have this compassionate, loving relationship with the body, then the body responds by wanting to listen to the soul. It becomes a mutual relationship. So here's another conversation between soul and body. Soul, how are you today? It always starts with how are you? So the body says, Baruch Hashem, great. And the soul says, hey, that's my line. And the body says, yep, but you taught it to me, no complaining. And the soul says, but now really, how are you? And the body says, really great. Hashem is so good to me. I have everything I need, so this person is writing from Muncie, New York. So this is winter. I have everything I need, a warm house, warm coat, wonderful family. It's 20 degrees outside and windy, but I'm warm. So the soul says, that's nice to hear. Anything I can give you to make you happy? And the body says, you always give me terrific things. I have a delicious, healthy muffin to eat on Shabbos morning. You give it to me so I will enjoy Shabbos, and it works. I really look forward to Shabbos to enjoy my muffin. You also give me a nice sip of dry wine on Friday night. Now you're getting a picture of who this woman is. This is a woman who's pretty ascetic. What does she give her body for Oneg Shabbos? Well, I give my body lots of chocolate. What does she give her body? A muffin. And the body is satisfied with it. A sip of wine. I drink a couple glasses of wine. Okay, so you get that picture of who this woman is. She's very spiritual. She's very, very frum, and the body cooperates with her, and she's talking nicely to the body. But keep listening. The soul says, I'm happy you like those things. I love you and want you to be happy with our avodas Hashem, our service of Hashem. And the body says, yes, I enjoy Shabbos, and I enjoy taking a walk to visit my widowed sister-in-law on Shabbos, so I get my exercise. Everything is like, really, she's so frum, she's so good. And the soul says, I'm glad you enjoy those good things. Have a wonderful, relaxing, enjoyable Shabbos. Now here's the conversation, Motzei Shabbos. The soul says, Good Tavach, how are you? How was your Shabbos? And the body says again, great, Baruch Hashem. And the soul says, hey, that's my line. The body says, yeah, but you taught me that. I really did have a very nice Shabbos. I got to take a walk in 10-degree weather, but it wasn't windy. I have a really nice warm coat inherited from my mother. I also had my delicious muffin. Thank you so much. I really felt Shabbos. I also felt Shabbos with the wine last night and today. And the soul says, sounds good. And the body says, I want to waste time and watch a movie. And the soul says, that's not a good idea. Like suddenly this body that has been so acquiescent, just give me a muffin and a sip of wine and I'm happy. Suddenly, I want to watch a movie. And the soul responds with judgment, which is what you're not supposed to do. It says, that's not a good idea. And the body said, but I really want it. Ask Sara Yoheved. She said, you should feed me. I don't want chocolate. I want a movie. So the soul responds. This was an actual conversation that this person had between their soul and their body. The soul responds, as I'm typing, I'm listening to Rabbi Moshe Weinberger. He just said, this is a recording, the more you feed the body, the more it becomes demanding. So we see this, we see the tension there. We see the tension. Even when she's trying to have this loving, accepting relationship with the body, we see the tension that is inherent. When, the body says, I want to watch a movie to this very frum soul, and the soul is listening to Rabbi Moshe Weinberger that says, the more you give the body, the more it demands, which is teaching we have all heard. The more you feed desire, the more it demands. So it brings this conflict, and that's exactly that tension, that disharmony is exactly what I feel that Jared's book is about. He gives a chance for the body to talk, and the body, with the emotions, has a lot to say. And I think most religious people don't listen much, especially us Bali Tshuva. We feel like, no, I have to transcend the body, and I want to go up, 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 and I'm not listening to the body. And the truth is, when we don't listen to those emotions, after some point, like for this case I just read, the body was great all of Shabbos, but Motzei Shabbos, I want a movie, If we don't listen to the body, then the body ends up making trouble for us. It ends up rebelling, and it can make trouble for us in many ways, by getting sick or by just refusing to go with the plan anymore. So Jared's book has this is not the painting here is not the one that I want to highlight right now. I want to read to you this poem, Dissociation, but this one is very similar. Here's that painting, and when I first started looking at Jared's paintings, they made me very uncomfortable, because I like to see paintings that have a center and are very harmonious, where everything flows harmoniously, and Jared's paintings don't do that at all. And what we see here, or let's look at this one here. What we see here is a lot of disparate elements, and you see these upward arrows, because there is that desire to go up. But there's also other stuff going on. There's this chicken who looks really like, I can't handle it. There are disparate colors. There's all kinds of things going on. Where's the courageous chicken picture? I'm going to hear the courageous chicken picture right there. So here you have the courageous chicken in the middle, and you have this kind of robotic figure on one side, again with those arrows going up, and the spires go up, but it looks very robotic. And then you have these lines going up, which looks like spiritual aspiration, but they're black. So much is going on. I think there are two words that I use to describe Jared's art and his poetry. The first is authentic. The question of being honest about who we are, which, as I said in the beginning, if we don't achieve that level where we're honest about who we are emotionally, then we can't go up in an authentic way to the next levels of how we treat other people and our relationship with God. So I'm going to read you this poem, Dissociation, on page 20. Exactly with what I am dealing, fearing that I'm the ultimate weakling, fledgling, withering, and that's just an inkling. I'm tinkering, rethinking, rising and sinking, having difficulty speaking, I prefer blinking, got sent reeling, congealing and revealing, misleading, through my seeing and my hearing, an illusion, disappearing, reappearing, time for spring cleaning, developmentally still weaning, whining, undying and wearying. Under my breath I'm swearing, both fists clenching, confessing that I've learned my heavenly lesson. Everything I need is already in my possession. I have a passion for progression. It's actually an obsession. Daydreaming of a red herring. Take it at face value, or is there a deeper meaning? Oh dear, that's endearing. Endeavoring. An actor in a private screening. Admiring. A caged bird singing, finally getting back to feeling my feelings. Seize the moment, like a thief caught stealing. My ears are ringing, believing. A pig that's constantly squealing, pain that's searing, I'm seething. A baby teething. Only God knows why I chose what I chose, my friends and my foes. When the final curtain will close, as my love grows, I'm in the throes, cleaving, adhering, hanging onto your ear like an earring, grieving, lost in the woods, looking for a compass to get my bearings, dizzy and careening, searching for a clearing, to do something daring. Darling, now I'm really sharing, and I'm raring, repairing as it appears. I'm finished comparing, my destiny's nearing, my eyes misty and tearing. Your demands are demeaning, left me leaning. I can't stand it, so I'm kneeling. Freewheeling, sky's the limit. But suffering has a ceiling. I planted a seed. The crops I'm gathering and bringing, redeeming, the blessings and the trimmings, overbrimming, slamming, all the profits I'm skimming. In this game of life I'm not losing, but I'm not winning. Engineering the odds, barely breaking even. Repenting on my sinning, this moment marks a new beginning. So like all the different emotions in this one poem, like the up and the down and the this way and the that way, like his paintings. The other word that I want to use to describe Jared's art is complexity. Authenticity and complexity. Complexity, I remember calling my mentor, Rebbetzin Heller Gottlieb. A religious person had done something very bad. And I called her and I was like very confused. I wanted some way to understand what was going on. I said, how could somebody that did so much good do so much bad? And she replied, human beings are complex. And this is very hard. I think in the religious world, we tend to try to simplify things. We tend to try to make things like just, we don't give enough credence. We don't listen enough to the complexities within us. So that's what Jared's artwork does and his poems. He brings it all out, all the complexity of what's going on. He doesn't resolve anything for us. He does not resolve anything for us. It's like these conversations between the body and the soul. The end result is not a resolution, but just it's a relationship. Because if you listen to the body, you listen to your emotions, the goal is to have a relationship. Remember, we're talking about bein adam la'atzmo. And just like you want to have a relationship bein adam la'chavero with other people and a relationship with God, you want to have a relationship with yourself, meaning your body and your emotions. And that relationship should be characterized by loving acceptance. So Jared gives us a chance to do that. I'm going to read one more poem. He gives us a chance to just listen to the body and the emotions and have a relationship with it, where there's a loving acceptance. And I can accept the complexity. I can accept the fact that after a lovely Shabbos, my body wants to watch a movie. I can accept the complexity that it's not always on board to do the highest, holiest thing. And for those people who are religious, we have a sense of, what is holy is good, holy, wise. But what is authentic is also good. We have to learn that what is authentic it has to be of value. And that's why Jared's book is so important. So I'm going to close by reading you this poem that I like because I love his use of words. It's called Psychosomatic. My thoughts are frenetic, kinetic, fantastic, like an addict on automatic. I just gotta have it, a neurotic fanatic. It's escapable and I'm ecstatic, autodidactic, changing my ways to autocratic, enigmatic. My fear is palpable. I'm capable and culpable. I have to stop you shouldn't stop in the middle of the poem, but I have to stop there because it's really, I love that line. I'm capable and culpable. It's like, I'm capable. and culpable. You know, right there in the same line. It's so powerful, the contrast of who we are, the authentic recognition of the complexity of human nature. So it's going on. I'm capable and culpable. My appetite is insatiable. Sounds drastic, dramatic. I'm flexible like elastic, durable like plastic. It's an old adage, removed the bandage of bondage. My baggage. I'm no longer a hostage, lifted my chin and walked out of the carnage. I'm acrobatic and dynamic, melodramatic. I appreciate the climate, but this is anticlimactic. All my symptoms are symptomatic, psychosomatic. And this is the picture that goes with that poem. Yeah. So Yasher Koach to Jared, you did a great job, an important job with this book, because we all need to get to that place where we listen to our emotions and listen and allow them to express themselves, even though we might hear things that are very discordant and complex and disharmonious. But the authenticity of that complexity is so absolutely liberating. Thank you very much for producing this book.
I'm going to just make a few very fast comments. I think Sara said a lot of what I was going to touch on. So the first thing I wanted to just talk about is, what is a courageous chicken? Right? It's kind of like those are like two very different words, right? You have courageous and you have chicken. So what it means to me is taking the courageous. I want to thank Nachum also. I'm sorry, Nachum and the staff. Thank you. Taking the fearful or the weak parts of myself and the scared chicken part of me, and using that as a vehicle, as fuel to become courageous. And I have spent my life literally with a determination, I think since I'm a child, with the same exact thoughts that I'm sharing, that I've always wanted to, even though you use the word, what was the word you use? I'm sorry, I used the word about
authentic.
Authentic, yes, but use a different word. Discordant, thank you. So part of this process for me, this courageous chicken process, is putting the pieces together. I've used this as the fuel, as the motivating thing that's given me this intense determination to become the best person I can, the most authentic person I can, and to become, I have a piece in the book. It's called Self-Made Man, and that's what I am. I'm a self-made man. I didn't follow in anyone's footsteps. I really learned about myself since I'm a child through writing and through drawing and through struggling and through thinking and to listening to my body and trying to express who I really am. And through the fear, walk through it and to continue becoming a courageous person. And despite the times that I wanted to give up, and I gave up many times over my life, but despite those times, to continue on and to continue to have the courage to not let the things stop me from becoming the best person I can. So something about this painting. I'm going to read a poem. This is my first book launch, so I'm a little bit emotional. So if my voice cracks or anything during the poem, don't get nervous. It's okay. I'm just telling you up front, that's a possibility. Here's the poem. This poem is called Big Chicken. Yeah? As you can see, this is a big painting. First thing you notice is it's big, and it's like not something that you've seen before. And one of the ways that I've challenged myself and grown as a person was by looking at the inside and trying to express it on the outside, and not the other way around. I can't do something, I can't look at something and then try to interpret it as not mine. That doesn't work for me. What works for me is sitting and thinking and asking questions and talking and having a dialogue with myself and then expressing something from inside of me to the outside. It doesn't matter whether you like this painting, whether you don't like this painting, that doesn't matter, but just try to hear what I'm going to say about it, and then we'll talk about it for a minute. And then after that, I would love to have any questions. If anyone has any questions, any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So the painting is called Big Chicken. Every day I'm getting bigger, better, more clever. My heart quivers, gives me the shivers. I flutter and I flitter like an absolute beginner, but I'm a winner. I see past the glitz and the glitter. No time to fritter or be bitter over a trivial matter. I mutter when I deliver. I'm prone to stutter. Go figure. Wanted to yell, decided to murmur. A lingering rumor. Felt a slight tremor. Starting to remember. Listen closely. You'll hear me twitter. Heaven knows I'm no quitter. Expanding out, a fearless old critter. This painting is about a lot of things. So I don't want to think that it's only limited to one thing. It can mean anything you want. It can mean anything you want to yourself. But I'm going to say what it means to me. I'm aware of so much of my life that I've spent as a big chicken. Like I said, living in fear and being afraid to do things and giving up on things that I wanted to do. This picture, I'm coming big. I have my little chicken with me, right? I have my little chicken with me, but I'm big. I'm like expanding out into the world with courage. And I'm not letting the fear stop me from growing and trying to become the best person I can. I have some ammunition here if I need it. And that motivates me to go up. I'm always thinking, like I said before, I'm always thinking, and I sit a lot. I have a chair in my office, right, in my studio. And I sit a lot and I think. And I'm constantly trying to tell my inner story of what's going on with me and trying to share it with other people. And I find that between the poetry and the painting and with me saying something about it, it really blends it together, melds it together to make it make sense. So anyway, just to continue with the piece. So this is me. This is me being big. This is me being loving. This is me being giving. This is me, even with fear, being big. This is me not giving up. This is me that is able to dream, not afraid to grow, not afraid of change. Oh wait, I'm going to scratch that and say, I am afraid of change. And I do it all the time. I carry through with it all the time. Even though I say about myself, I'm afraid to change, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that, I've seen in my life that despite that, I continue to do it. I just push through it and I push through it. That's what this painting is about. This painting is about being big. And, you know, I don't remember, since I'm a child, I don't remember having a dream. And I don't remember feeling like the sky's the limit. I don't remember my whole adult life. And now I feel that all the time. I feel like the sky's the limit. Eliyahu Michal and I had this conversation about a year or so ago, and remember by your house, and I was like, I feel like I got to do something. Do you remember that conversation? So this picture, this work, and this picture in particular, is about, it's about me going for broke. Me not willing to live my life to the fullest. I'm not willing to not live my life to the fullest. I'm not willing to let fear, I'm not willing to let failure stop me. That's what this painting's about. This painting, I'm not neglecting, I'm not negating. Simcha, thanks, Simcha. I'm not negating the fear. I'm saying, I just want to say it again because it's important for me to keep reminding myself that I'm using the fear to get somewhere. And that's what this picture's about. I'm happy to have any questions about anything, about my work or about the poems or about me. Don't be afraid. Let me do that.
No, we should be afraid and ask him.
Yes. That's right, that's right.
The element at the top in the center, what does that mean to you?
that's always like my connection to God. That's like the tunnel. That's like my spiritual connection tunnel. Always going up to God. A lot. You see it a lot in my paintings.
On top of the head, on the head of the kid.
Yeah.
A head on the top.
Yeah. There's an artist called Jean-Michel Basquiat whose work was very inspiring to me. It was I think the first artist I really fell in love with, and I saw it was like lots of crowns and head things, and I realized how important it was to me in my own personal relationship, my own symbolism, and that it really means a lot to me. And I really relate to it. So it's just like it's like a crown. It's a crown and a connection to God.
Keter.
Keter, yeah. You have to raise your hand. You need to use the bathroom?
You talked about making changes in your life all the time, but this change sounds like the most cataclysmic, because it goes back so many decades. How do you do that? Is it just a question of critical mass? Is it something that triggers? I mean, for us to take lessons, how we can do that? What does it need?
I can't tell you what you could do. I can tell you what I did, and I think that it's a good way to go about it. And it's like this: you don't tackle it all at once. You know, the first thing that for me is I take steps, like baby steps, and I try to find. I make the time, and I make the space to take baby steps. Then baby steps, you know, kind of just go. You know, I believe that everyone, no matter how big a person you are, everyone has, you know, things to fix, things they want to do, things they dream of that they're not doing, or whatever, fears. Everyone has that. I believe everyone has that. To answer your question, I think that baby steps, and to go in a loving and a gentle way, and reframe any negative or critical thoughts that you may have, if you reframe them to positive ones. For example, I'll just make something up. For example, I don't know exactly what you're referring to, obviously, but for me, okay, I have this big thing, I'm a failure. I have another one, I'm not lovable. I have like lots of them. So I work with them. I'm working with them for a long time. I work with them on a constant, structured way. You know, in a structured way. I write it out. I figure it out. I listen to myself. I talk to myself. I listen. Like Sara Yoheved said before, I really listen, and I try to work on it. It's perseverance, and it's not like and the process. One more thing I think is really important. The process is the whole thing. It's not getting somewhere. The process has all the value in it. Whether the book came out or not is not the point. Whether I sell the book or not is not the point. The point is that I didn't give up, and I put myself out there. I took a risk. You have to take a risk, even if it's a small risk. You have to say, am I willing? What am I willing to give up, or what am I willing to change to become a little bit different today than I was yesterday? What am I willing to do? And you have to find something that's manageable, that's not too overwhelming, and then you have to work at it, and then from that build slowly and gently and lovingly, and you know, you have to be really nice. You have to be really good to yourself. And I've learned that again. Sara, you haven't said a lot of these things before. I'm just trying to say some of these things in different words, but like I've learned to love myself, and by loving myself, I can do this. And I spend a lot of time with this stuff. I mean, I spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time sitting and thinking. I spend a lot of time, you know, staring at a blank canvas and saying, you know, what am I going to do? And then I say, and I'll tell you what I do. I get up, and I just sometimes go like take some paint and just go like this and just to move. It's about movement. It's about change. It's about doing something manageable and on a regular basis and in a loving way and with a lot of determination. Because if you want to change, you can do it. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. You can do it. There's no question you can do it. It's work, but it's the best work you can do because it's for you. Yeah, sure.
The poems, do they
flow out? Do they take hours to write?
It's an excellent question. I mean, this poem, this piece was finished last week or 2 weeks ago, and it doesn't usually work this way, but this way it did. I sat down, and I think within 15, 20 minutes, this poem was done. And I couldn't believe it, because usually it's like I'm working on it, I go to bed at night, my wife knows I go to bed at night with a pad in my hand, I'm in bed with, writing, and, I'm recording all the time. And so it depends. It really depends. But that is.
I have to say, it's like 11:30 at night, and I'm like, okay, pick up the cleaning, sign the Ishur, like this and that, and he's like, I'm blooming, consuming. And I'm like, that's what's going on in your head. Like, I'm all like, defrost chicken for Shabbos. Like,
No, defrost greatest chicken for Shabbos. Defrost greatest chicken for Shabbos.
okay.
You're taking care of the Shabbos chicken. He's taking care of that.
Courageous chicken.
So the truth is that I was just saying that I feel like I'm always writing, and I'm always, thinking. So it's like whatever I'm thinking, I'm writing. It's like there's no separation between this and me. What's going on inside of me? This is me. Like I've done over 50 paintings in the last 3 years, and it's just like it's been like an explosion. And I'm like writing poems and thinking of words, and I think of a word, and I start thinking of other words, and all of a sudden, like the words are matching what's going on in my mind that I want to get out, that I want to share. Because once I see it in front of me, then I can understand myself. And with the writing, it's really, really helpful, because once I write something down, it becomes concretized. It becomes outside of me. I can read it and look at it and be like, oh my, that's me. I can relate to it differently. If it's in my head, it's not as clear. So once I write it, it's like really, it really becomes something that I can really learn from and relate to. So it depends. Sometimes weeks, sometimes 20 minutes.
Do the poems come first or the paintings come first?
So, it works both ways. Sometimes it's poem first, sometimes it's painting, sometimes I'm working on a poem, I think it works both ways. But somehow they always emerge in tandem. Those are Joel's words that we put in the book. Somehow they always emerge in tandem. Remember?
No.
Well, you gave me those words, I think. But anyway, somehow they always emerge together.
Jared, I want to ask a question.
Yes, sure.
But before that, I watched the interview with Jean-Michel Basquiat once, and he, someone asked him like, "Are you an artist? What's your medium?" And he's like, "Medium? I'm extra large." And it's like, just this, what you're doing really feels bigger than, I think, like, just whatever you want to put there, it's actually bigger than even we right now know, it might be like just growing, it's like a perspective of things. And I just want to ask, like, what's your most, not popular, but like, what's your most frequent question to Hashem? Like during this, like, during this art and like, and
Just like one question, I would say.
maybe like top three.
Please listen to all my questions and give me a good response. I don't know what my most popular question is. You mean to my work or just in general?
Yeah, no, just like while you're doing this, like while you're actually overcoming your fears step by step, what's your like most, I don't know, is there anything that
I'm constantly, I feel like, that, I think this is also what Sara had said before, that I'm in a constant conversation with Hashem when I'm working and not when I'm working. It's like it's just it's a constant conversation. So and somehow, you between having that conversation and then, getting the courage to do the work and then doing it and then reading it, and it's been an opportunity for me to really put my whole life back together. This is me putting my life back together. That's what it is. This is was a broken thing, and now it's much more of a healed thing. It's a loving thing. It's a powerful thing. There's a lot of harmony in it for me. It makes total. It comes from me. So it's like each one of these things is a baby for me. It really is. The book's a baby for me. So I feel like I'm in constant conversation with Hashem, and I try to be as aware as possible of, you know, what's happening. I guess is the best way to say it.
Can I ask, was it difficult to get your book published?
Not at all.
Because a lot of people have rejection and they have to go to many different publishing
No, but
houses.
I had the best publisher in the world, Hashem. No, it wasn't hard at all. It wasn't hard at all. It was really, it was a lot of work, but it happened very organically, and in terms of the actual publishing it, no, it wasn't difficult. I want to just also thank Joel Klein. He's my mentor. He helped me with my book. The book would not be half of what the book is without Joel helping me. So thank you, Joel. Every step of the way you gave me your time and your loving direction. And everything.
Thank you for saying so.
I also want to
Surprised.
I also want to thank my wife for not only encouraging me 4 years ago to get back into this, which I had stopped. And I started painting about 20 years ago when we lived in New Jersey, New York. I started to do a couple of shows, and then when I got married, I stopped. And I stopped for about 17 years, and my wife encouraged me to get back into it. And not only did she encourage me, but she gave me a lot of space and a lot of support to do the work, which has taken, you know, a lot of my life has gone into this work in the past couple of years. So thank you, Liz. And also Moria, wherever you are, she also has been put up with Abba being busy sometimes. So thank you, Moria. I'm open to questions. Please, Batsheva.
What are the, to me they look like little people, but they're off on the side.
Actually, yeah.
I'm just gonna analyze this one.
I heard, I think it was Basquiat said this, and if not, someone like that said it. I'm going to just quote whoever that was. I don't remember who it was. I'm not even going to quote because I don't remember exactly what they said, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to make something up, but if it didn't come out right, it wasn't me. So that's like, would you say to Miles Davis, you know, what does that one chord mean? And I love that because it's like, not everything in the painting literally means something. It could just like give you a feeling, or just, you know, like, I can tell you from me.
It balances the painting.
Yeah, that's true. It is true. That is true. But I can't say that those things mean something. I could probably come up with a pretty good story about it if you want.
I never would have known.
Other like the crowd.
What's that?
Like the crowd of people that are looking at you while you're drawing.
Yeah. I also just want to say that I really appreciate, you know, there was one time in my life, that I would have definitely could have been, or would have had different expectations for what my book launch would have been like, how many people would be there and what it would be like. And I'm so not concerned or interested. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that came, from Beit Shemesh, from everywhere else you came to be here tonight. And I'm really touched. I'm really appreciative that you made the trip out to come and this book launch and see a piece of my work and hear Sara Yoheved, and I'm very grateful. And if there's any more questions, I'm
Jared,
now or after.
I want to observe and comment or not comment here, but I'm looking at this picture here, and I'm just seeing this explosion of color. And then I'm looking at the artist presenting it, and you're so dressed not colorfully. There's such a stark contrast between that. Is there anything like that needs comment about that? Or is that?
Yeah, I mean, I could say something about that. You know, the first thing is that you know, the paintings have really brought me alive, have really given me my life a lot of meaning and a lot of color and texture and and significance, right? And I want to draw attention to this. I want you to see this. I want you to understand this, and I want you to experience it, so that hopefully, like it has helped unlock me, I hope it helps encourage and inspire and unlock other people, right? That's why I'm doing it, So the colors bring me alive. The paintings I'm hoping to share, and the poetry I'm hoping to share to help other people unlock. And in terms of the way I dress, you don't like it? I mean, I like the way I look. The truth is, it's simple. I know, like my wife knows this too. I think she'd like me to wear more colored shirts. I try to, but for me, like I don't want to think about it. Like I know, like people like Steve Jobs and other people like that, and Mark Zuckerberg, they've said things about this. They said, when I get up, I make so many decisions during the day. I don't want to decide what clothes I wear. So for me, I usually just wear a white shirt and black pants. And I also relate mainly as a Haredi person. And as my expression of my inner self, this fits me the best. And then and again, for me, again, what you said before, this is making a lot of sense to me. It just keeps making sense to me. Even though I look different than this, inside, this is what you're seeing. This means nothing. This is just the baggage. This is just the clothing. This is just the exterior thing. This is not me. That's me. That's me.
Jared, can you talk just a little bit about this incredible vulnerability, like you're coming out, if you will? I mean, you're not really coming out, so to speak, looking good, except for the fact that you're not looking good, so you're looking good by doing that.
Say it.
I'm so touched and blown away by your courage and your vulnerability, and I'm seeing a journey, not a tied up, nice, neat package. And at some point in time, you made a decision, like, I'm gonna express this, and I don't really care what it looks like. And I'm wondering if you could just comment on that, because it's really inspiring.
So, I mean, I've always been. I never really knew myself. I never knew who I was. I mean, it's the truth. Like when I was growing up, I didn't have my own identity. I always I morphed into someone else or something else, or just I didn't really have a strong identity. I had like a persona, and I presented myself to the world in a certain way, but I didn't really have an identity. I guess the best way to put it. And a couple years ago, I've been working on that my whole life. And a couple years ago, I just got really determined, and I just I started to really want to be authentic, and I really care a lot about you getting something from this, and at the same time, my identity and my self-confidence and my self-esteem, my self-worth is not tied into whether you like this or me. So in a way, I've created this gift for myself, right? And now I just want to give the gift away. That's all I want to do, is give the gift away. I mean, not for free. No, I just want to give the gift away, and that's what this is. So I don't. On one hand, I care very much about what you think of me or my work, rather. On the other hand, it doesn't even cross my mind. Like I'm not that kind of person. Like I wouldn't. When I write things and when I'm doing these things, I'm thinking about God, and I'm thinking about me and me getting closer to God and me becoming the best Jew I can, the best person I can, the best husband I can, the best father I can, the best friend I can, the best everything I can. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about whether so-and-so thinks this is good or thinks it's crazy or gets it or doesn't get it. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about trying to bring the best possible me with the most possible courage in the most authentic way to my work. I mean, when people talked about me in the past, I would always say to myself, that's not talking about me. It's not me. And like, this is me standing up and saying, I'm an artist. And I never was able to say that. I'm 58 years old. I would never ever say I'm an artist. I'd be like, artist? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I really would. I know it probably may be hard to believe that, but it's true. And now I say it, and I'm so full of it. Like I'm an artist. That's who I am in the world. I take this creation that God gave me. God created me, and I'm taking that creation. I'm trying to bring the best broken. We're all broken, right? I'm trying to take my brokenness, put it back together, and to be able to share with the world my completeness in the best way that I can. And is it vulnerable? I mean, I don't know. Like, it doesn't register as vulnerable for me. I don't know. I mean, I guess it is, but I don't look at it like that. I look at it like taking a risk of failure. So I guess there's vulnerability in there, but I'm just not willing. I'm not willing to stay where I am in the world. With Hashem's help, I'm gonna take every risk that I've ever wanted to take, starting now, starting this minute. I'm gonna be the big chicken. Sky's the limit. I haven't felt that way in 50 years, and now I feel that way. The sky's the limit. I got nothing to lose. Hashem's with me. Hashem wants me to do it. I'm doing it. I don't know if that answers your question. I got lost there, but. If anyone has any questions after that.
Jared, we're very grateful that your true self is so colorful and you're dressed in black and white and not the other way around.
Put up on our website, or our Facebook pages. I mean,
I'll give it. I'll send it.
You'll send it to me.
The link,
I can
sure.
Put it up on my Facebook page.
For sure. What a pleasure.
Thank you for recording it.
It's been such an honor to be here.
Thank you, everyone.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. It was really great. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
What's the dance that goes with it?
You know that one.
Okay, honey. So I think it's right to